first game back or some shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going, bud?
It's going great. You see all this food in front of me? I'm fucking happy.
We both have playoff bound football teams again, so that's pretty cool.
Wait, did we clinched our playoffs?
No. Neither have we. But I'm saying, like, if the season ended today, we're back in. I thought this is what I do, man. I say that we're over it 2 weeks ago, and then we go back-to-back games, and we're back in first in the division. Now I'm back on board, and now we'll lose 2 more games and be back out of it again. It's fucking annoying.
And I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. We have lost 2 in a row, 3 out of 4, and I'm ready to fucking jump off the cliff. I'm over it.
So has everybody else in the AFC, and we'll talk about that a little later. But we want to get a few shout outs out of the way first, because these are every now and then we do shout outs at the beginning when they are worth it. And this is a big shout out to Ernie Johnson and a lot of other people, but mostly for us. Ernie Johnson gets inducted into the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame, and I think Chris Collinsworth did too, right?
Now here's a guy who probably shouldn't be in it.
Who? Chris Collinsworth?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. But Chris Collinsworth, this is people. There's a lot of people, but the people that I know about, Chris Collinsworth, Ernie Johnson, and that's pretty much it. There were 9 people. I don't know who they are, but they all look kind of funny. So, but good. Congratulations to all those people. But Ernie, that's our guy. I was watching the Suns game. I didn't even know that the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame was going on. I knew because of the Chris Collinsworth part of it, but I didn't know that the ceremony was last night. And I'm watching our game on TNT, and it goes to halftime, and it's just a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah.
And not scrubs. I like Jamal Crawford, but a bunch of scrubs. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then I heard, obviously. So shout out to Ernie Johnson and the rest of the guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, EJ's the best. He's absolutely amazing. And like anybody that loves him could have called what he was going to talk about. It wasn't going to be about EJ. Right. He was going to be a people that affected his life every day. And hearing him talk about his kids, his poem shit is the best, bro. I love it. Like it's the best. I hope that it'll never stop. Obviously, I said like 8 years ago, I hope it never stops, and it won't. His poems are the best, dude. And the way he talks about his children is absolutely amazing. And he chose them. It's not like he adopted them. He chose to have the extra ones.
And I
love them because I had them. Nah, you wanted them.
The ones that take a little extra work. So I mean, just huge shout out to Ernie. Like that, he's the man, and you can tell everybody that just loves him, man. Anybody that's come around him, just he lights up the room. Everybody loves him, and it's super cool. So that's kind of one of the guys that we always aspire to, and we're sitting here talking. Not that we try to emulate anybody or be like anybody, but he's someone we both have greatly enjoyed watching throughout our years. So that's super cool that he's there.
Bro, you know what I just thought about?
What's that?
One day this is going to be Pat McAfee in like 30 years. He's going to be doing his sports broadcasting.
Ooh. The Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the rise for sure. It'll be him and Stephen A. Smith getting in together, hanging out.
Stephen A. should only have to do another 10 years.
Yeah, he'll be in way earlier, whenever he feels like being. But all right, so shout out to those guys. The other shout out I wanted to get over with, just so that we're not assholes. Shout out to the Columbus Crew. They got it done. They beat LA in the championship. Really, we beat ourselves because
absolutely
the PK is what it is, right? It's a handball. It does its thing. But then we shut down. That 5 minutes after a goal, you have to stay engaged. We didn't do it. We let in the second goal, and that proved to be the one. So you can't shut down. But Giorgio Chiellini officially retired, so shout out to him. I'm sure Vela will soon follow. So shout out to both of those guys, and we'll be back at it next year. Like obviously Chiellini,
come back, Diego,
is huge, but his athletic ability it wasn't there. So hopefully he imparted some wisdom on some of our guys, and we'll just be able to put somebody more athletic out there that can keep up. But hey, it's exciting to make it to back-to-back championships. But
we were watching Palacios on Diego Rossi was fucking fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was fun to watch. Even though the match wasn't the best. That was fun for the whole time.
Yeah. And we're not really talking about basketball, so let's do a quick shout out on this episode. But let's do a quick shout out to the Phoenix Suns finally getting all 3 fucking people on the court at one time. They're gonna lose. They're gonna be 0-1 with those 3 people. But hey, they did it. It only took 24 games or whatever, however many games we played. But we have all of our people on the court at least for one night. So finally, I got to see it, and it is pretty crazy to watch. I know you were working and coming home, so you probably didn't get to watch any. Huh?
I mean, the East Coast Suns.
Yeah, you probably didn't get to watch too much of it, but it is nuts to have Bradley Beal standing on the weak side, and you're doing like a pick and roll with Booker and Nurkic, and then Durant is there, so the whole field is just, or court is just gravitated towards him, and you can throw a skip pass to Bradley fucking Beal. It's ridiculous. He's gotten a few open shots like that, and so that's just going to get a little bit more rolling. But most people are kicking out to a PJ Tucker and Chetty Osman or some shit like that. So we get Bradley Beal to kick out to. It's pretty crazy. As long as Nurk keeps doing what he's been doing, we should be okay. But this game just wasn't it. The Nets seemed ready. I mean, we're only down 3 with 4 minutes left, so we could win. But it hasn't been the best game.
Well, I mean, honestly, the big fallout that we figured there might be with the loss of Chris Paul and not getting another main point guard. I thought Eric Gordon was going to go in there and fuck up, but they're not even letting him touch the ball. He just stands there and catches the ball and shoots threes. So yeah. I like what they've been able to do with that. As long as Book can stay healthy, yeah, you got a long 50 more practice games until the real games start.
Right.
So yeah, this will be a lot of fun, man. The other night when Book was getting double teamed at the half line, it was really fun to watch his decision making and what he was able to do. And they went on a 16-2 run on those stupid ass doubles. So yeah, keep letting him practice, you dumbasses, at being the point guard and getting in those crisis situations.
Throw in the playoffs, stupid.
Yeah, for real.
But so let's shift gears a little bit more and talk one more thing about stupidity, and that is a shout out to the man who's now second all time in ejections, second to Rasheed Wallace, and that is Draymond Green. Got ejected again, did a full roundhouse slap to Nurkic, and officially the wording is suspended indefinitely. So that means they'll figure it out. It'll be 25 games, 20 games, 15 games, the whole season, whatever. But it's indefinitely right now. But he is suspended. So how long do you think he'll get? And what do you think he should get? Like, realistically, obviously, we both want him to just get the fuck out of the league. But realistically, what do you think? What do you think he's going to get and deserve?
Honestly, realistically, if you told me he was suspended through the postseason, I wouldn't bat an eye. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't say that's a little too much. But it's probably going to be 20, 25 games. There's no way Steve Kerr hasn't already started lobbying Adam Silver and all this shit.
Right.
I do like they do the indefinite, but what sucks about this indefinite, it's like time served.
Right.
So if it takes them 10 games to find out it's 15 games, he only has to miss another 5.
Yeah, they should just have it not actually start the clock.
Yeah. But I honestly wouldn't mind. They wouldn't not let him be in the postseason just because, excuse me, the NBA knows that this big market that they've created over in Golden State, good God, in the San Francisco area, is on its way out. Like, we're at the end of the line here. So I think they want to milk it for as much as they can. So I don't think they'll not let Draymond in the playoffs. He was like one of their best players in the playoffs last year.
What was the last one? The last one was 5 games? The one that just happened like two games
5
ago?
games, yeah, 5 games. He was back for his second or third game.
So it'll probably be like 15 games, I would think. But yeah, he's ridiculous. And we're not going to spend too long on him because he's just an asswipe and we don't care that much.
Do you buy he was trying to sell a foul?
I mean, yeah, he was trying to sell a foul, but he also intentionally slapped the dude in the face. But he's gonna over exaggerate stuff. And I was talking to my buddy at work, and this is what he should do, right? What he should do is when he's all alone on the court and he's turning around, throw his arms like that. So it starts to look like that's just the way he turns around. And so then when people get near him and he does it and he hits them in the face, he can be like, yo, watch the tape, dude. That's just that's it. It helps my back to do that. I do it all the time, and maybe that'll help out his cause.
Nah. I don't think there's like mosquitoes or bees on the floor. Fucking drone.
The Tommy Boy bees thing. I was just thinking of that the other day. So he's an ass.
He
He
sucks.
needs to be suspended for a while, and I'm starting to feel bad for Curry, because Curry is too nice of a person. Like, he needs to go to whoever the hell their GM is and owner and all those guys and just say, I can't have this. Listen, I am at the tail end of my prime. I'm extending my prime as long as humanly possible. I can't have this. You need to get rid of Draymond. You need to get rid of Clay. No offense to Clay, he's just not scoring right now.
Can't hit a
And
bucket.
let's get some people in here that can actually help me try to win the game. But Steph's not going to do that. So part of me feels bad for him because he's such a nice guy doing what I feel like is a good thing to do. But ultimately, you got to look out for yourself and be like, yo, I can't have this.
You say I say foolish, because to this day, Steph will go down saying they don't get 4 chips without Draymond. I'm here to say they probably have 5.
It's possible they don't get 4, yeah, but they might get more.
This man was a 68 in 2K when they first won their first chip.
He does a lot of things well, or did. He's old now, but he did a lot of things well. But yeah, there were other people in the league that you could find that could do 80% of the things he can do, and they just needed Steph and Clay. And then, of course, when KD came, it was a wrap. It didn't matter.
A wrap and a half.
But they might have. Maybe that's what he means. KD wouldn't have come without Draymond in his ear. Maybe that's what he means.
KD left because of Draymond in his ear.
Everybody that leaves is leaving because of Draymond. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But let's move on from basketball. There's not too much to talk about in basketball. It's still early. Wemby took on the Lakers today, and LeBron's pussy ass was scared and didn't want to play the game. Wemby popped off. He played really well, but it just wasn't enough to hold off the Lakers. So too bad for the Spurs. Real quick though, what do you think about like the Spurs and the Pistons and all these dudes just putting up just shitty losing streaks? Are you
I don't
concerned?
get it, honestly. I don't know how. No, I mean, all the old heads talk about how the league's ass, and this is legit what they're talking about. Like, there's a shit ton of athletes, but there's not a lot of hoopers anymore, and that's the NBA's fault. That's leaving it up to 8 guys and making everybody else a role player. That's why Evan Turner's not in the league, because he was diminished down to a role player, and that's literally everybody. We just have all these athletic role players, and if you're not one of the 8 teams that has great people on your fucking team that can actually hoop, this is what you get. Mm-hmm. If they're all under the age of fucking 25 and you're not the Indiana Pacers, this is what you get. This is the basketball you're going to get on a daily basis. The Pacers somehow just got picks 8 through 12 and ended up being the best 8 through 12 picks in the history of NBA drafts.
It's crazy because I watched the first few games of Detroit, and I texted you, and I think I talked on the podcast about it. There were a lot of dudes I like there. Mm-hmm. I like Cade. I don't think Cade's a number 1, but I still like his game, even during this losing streak. I like him. But I like Asar Thompson. I like Jalen Duren, however the hell you say his name. I like some of these dudes, but for whatever reason, it doesn't click. And hopefully it's just because they're young, but like you said, it's just potentially just a bunch of young role players that need to spread out and go find their wings under some stars. Because Cade, no offense to him, he's not a star. He's not a number 1 guy. No. So I would take him on my team in a heartbeat, but he wouldn't be the number 1 guy on my team either. So maybe they're just figuring that stuff out. You know, obviously the Spurs don't give 2 shits. They're playing no point guard. They've literally played like. I
don't know why they don't let Tyus play, bro. Yeah, it's so
they've played, I believe it's 12 different starters. 12 different people have started a game. Tyus Jones is the one guy that has not started a game yet this year. He's the guy that needs to be playing point guard. What the fuck? Like,
what is Pop like going senile?
I think he's just having fun with the league. I think he's just fucking around, dude. That's why their fourth quarters are so good, because he's like, all right, let's go actually do something.
Let's actually do something here.
Yeah.
This is the best thing for a podcast. So I'm having a plastic bag right by the mic.
I couldn't really hear too much.
Sweet.
Your mic does a good job of keeping it. But yeah, so I'm not too concerned. I mean, if I'm a Detroit fan or a Spurs fan and I expected them to win, I guess I'm concerned. But I don't think anybody expected any of them to win. The problem is Detroit will not get free agents. The Spurs will. They have a generational talent. They have Greg Popovich. If they want to go hard for free agents, they will get them. Detroit won't. I don't even remember the last time a free agent went to Detroit.
Isaiah Stewart, baby.
Not a big marked one. So everybody left Detroit. I remember a lot of good Detroit stars. So that's kind of shitty for them, but it'll work out in the end.
Kelly Olynyk?
I still believe in Monty.
I don't.
Rude.
I don't know. I feel bad for the man. You can't teach athletes how to play hoop. They just go to the fucking rim and dunk it.
Yeah.
That's why Namir and Asar can't shoot for shit.
Well, nobody can shoot on the Detroit. That's the problem. Nobody can shoot.
And also, that's the thing. Like, these kids have never. Ooh, I think I just thought about something here. College is the first time in your basketball career, anybody, I don't give a fuck where you play, that you're gonna have a backdrop. That you're it's just gonna see straight through. These overtime elite games are played in a small ass fucking like air, what are they called? Air hanger, half a hair hanger kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they have a fucking huge backdrop, black as fuck. They can see the rim perfectly. And them boys were shooting lights out in that fucking documentary. So does that like kind of help their stock but hurt their careers in a way that they still aren't getting this experience with the fans and shit?
That's part of it. I feel like Overtime Elite, and hopefully it changes. I don't want to dog Overtime Elite, but the only time I've ever seen them is in that documentary. And it's just like one of those AAU summer camps on steroids is all it is. It's a bunch of athletic dudes coming and being like, we're going to pick teams for you. We're just going to fuck around. If we don't like the fit, we're just going to move you to the next door. You still have the same locker. You still have the same bedroom. You still have the same roommate. You're just now playing with a different team. And it's not exactly the same thing that the NCAA, that the G League or the NBA are, which is what they pride themselves in. But they are going to have to figure out how to convert that to something that actually develops players for the NBA, because right now it's legitimately like a summer camp for stars. They should go to that and then go to the college or go to the G League or something, because that's
to go there. Like I feel like you go there and you can be there for a little bit and you can still go to college, or you go there and you take it seriously and give up college eligibility.
Right. There's two different types of contracts, but like it's weird. I don't know. But when I was watching it, it just felt like summer campy to me. You guys are all roommates. You're all in a bunk together. They weren't all. I guess the kid that lived in Atlanta got to stay at home with his mom, but he sucked. So, well, he was good at basketball. He just sucked.
I was about to say, whoa. I feel like he's doing something somewhere.
He better be once he gets his head on straight.
The light skinned kid?
The dude that can fly. Fucking straight up. Just jump out of the gym.
Kept getting sent to different teams?
Yeah. Because he kept getting pissed that nobody's passing him the ball. He was you, bro. He was you all day long.
Yeah, I mean, you got a game, you want to play it.
No, but when he was, we're like definitely going too long talking about Overtime Elite right now. But when he was on the team with the Thompson twins, I would have been pissed too, bro. Like, they only passed to each other. They only fucked around with each other, trying to lift up their stock. And nothing against them. They should. They're NBA lottery picks. But if I'm a teammate of that, I'm going to say, fuck that, dude. I want out. Give me somewhere where I can actually ball. So I don't mind him being mad at them. But then when he was mad at some of the other guys, it's just like, come on. It's got to be you at some point.
Not me. Not Hermione. It's you, Overtime.
All right. So I wasn't going to talk about hockey, but look at that nice jersey you got going on there. If the playoffs started today, Red Wings would still be in it. We got we got the Blues to fire their coach. Obviously, we didn't do it, but we were the last game that he lost before he got fired. So we were the catalyst for him losing his job. So that's pretty cool. And it's fun. I've only watched a couple games, but our offense is humming, bro. It's really cool to see. Our defense sucks, so that's kind of scary. But our offense is fun to watch.
Yeah, we're young, dude. I mean, the whole league's kind of young right now, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're what, almost 30 games in, and I'm still wearing this jersey. So
exactly right.
Yeah, man, we're doing good. We're killing it.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, that's all the hockey we know.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know if there's records. Well, obviously there are records, but I don't know what they are. But the Pittsburgh Penguins won today in the 12th round of a shootout, which is like video game type shit, to make it to a 12th round of a shootout. So that's kind of cool. What are you
serious? Keontae George got hurt. He played 4 minutes.
And they still won? How'd that happen?
I had him in a parlay.
Oh, damn.
Hope that, bro, they're not going to give me that money. That's so annoying. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different. I parlayed the prop parlays. And that's going to be the one that not hit because he got hurt.
Dang.
I just need to put this damn app up for a while, bro.
You got to do easier bets, man. I mean, I did an easier bet, and the Suns are about to blow it. So, those score, like, to be fair, I was not even going to pick a winner in this game, but you can either like parlay a bunch of people, or you can do a same game parlay, but you can't like put 2 people from the same game in like a big parlay. So I was like, all right, I needed to be a same game. And so I had to go with our fucking team to win. So that sucks.
You can do like one person from each team. Like do this guy's points, assists, rebounds.
I couldn't do Cam Thomas and Devin Booker and then somebody from like the Heat game.
Yeah, but you could do Devin Booker.
Right.
And then you can do somebody from the Heat.
But I wanted one person, Cam Thomas and I wanted Devin Booker, and that's why I was like, it has to be a same game now.
Well, then you should have picked like Cam Jordan or somebody else too.
Cam Johnson.
Yeah, that guy.
Cam Jordan put 3.5 sacks on the court. Yeah, that sucks. I was a little nervous about this game because everybody was back, but I was right. I was right in my heart and wrong with my wallet. So that
cashed out.
That seems to be how it goes. Sure, all right, so let's get to the real meat of the podcast, and that is football. Football is into the stretch run, and every team, I'm just going to say every team, it might sound like hyperbole, but it pretty much isn't, is either 7-6 or 6-7. How did this happen? I think it's like 13 teams are 7-6 or 6-7.
Yeah, it's insane. And honestly, there's always been a handful of ass teams. There's only like 3 that are absolutely ass. The Giants are ass, the Cardinals are ass, the Panthers are ass. Everybody else is putting up a fucking fight. Sorry, I can't say Cardinals. It's not their fault. Patriots are ass. Giants are ass. So, but everybody else is trying to be. Even the fucking Giants has spit off 2 in a row. And fucking, what is it? Tommy Cutlets.
Danny DeVito over there. Or, Tommy DeVito.
Fucking Tommy Cutlets and his agent. But even then, besides those 3 teams, it seems like everybody has 4 or more wins. Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah,
there's not a lot of ass teams. The Seahawks ended up being one of the worst teams in the league this year, and they still have 6 wins.
Yeah, the Steelers are gonna, at the end of the day, be one of the worst teams, and
they're 7-5 right now.
Yeah, 7 wins or whatever they're gonna have.
6.
They're one of the many 7-6 teams, but they're on the way down, I think.
But sure, Colts, Texans, both 7-6. The Titans have spit off. I think they've won 3 out of the last 5. They're 5-8 now.
The Bears are 5-8 now, out of nowhere.
Raiders, Chargers, both ass, both 5-8. Like, it's weird.
One of them's gonna have 6 wins after tomorrow. Like, it's crazy, man.
Oh, the Giants have won 3 in a row. Wow,
that's crazy. So let's make a little bit of rundown. You want to start in the NFC or the AFC?
Let's do NFC because the AFC is like fucking top heavy.
Wild. Yeah, so the NFC is a little more clear cut because it is top heavy. There are actually teams
Yeah,
that are
that's what
doing
I meant to
things.
say.
And the 49ers have officially clinched a playoff spot. They are still tied with the Cowboys and the Eagles, but because their division is worse, they've clinched a playoff spot. They're still the class, right? I mean, there are 3 teams tied at 10-3, but the 49ers have beaten the Eagles, they've beaten the Cowboys. They're the team, right? In the
Yeah.
NFC East.
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt, their offense is clicking. Their quarterback went from being a systematic quarterback to an MVP front runner, and their defense, they had a hiccup
Yeah.
a couple, like what now, about 2 months ago, and they haven't looked back since. They've won 5 straight. That Chase Young signing has fared to be pretty fucking cheat code and stupid, ridiculous, and shouldn't have been allowed. Um, but yeah, they're night and day the best team in the NFC. And then other than that, you have the 2 teams in the NFC East.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Whoever else makes the playoffs is going to lose in wild card or divisional round, and one of those 3 teams are going to have to hope to get the easy route through the
Yeah.
playoffs and face the other one in the conference championship. Because if you have to go and face it in the divisional rounds, you're not looking at a conference. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hilarious. I feel like if there's a way that you could just throw a YouTube TV game on for the playoffs, it'll be one of those AFC wild cards that's going to end up being like 68-3.
Oh, yeah. So, the
Like either
Cowboys
the
and the Eagles.
Eagles or the Cowboys are going to fucking obliterate whoever the fuck they face in the wild card.
Yeah, the Cowboys and the Eagles are both 10-3. Currently, the Cowboys lead the division, so they have the 2 seed, but the Eagles control their destiny. So even if both teams win out, the Eagles will then jump the Cowboys. Who needs home field more out of
The
those 2 guys?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys,
The Cowboys do. That's
because they don't lose at home. Like they
I'm-
literally
I
just
mean,
don't lose
yeah,
at home.
it's been a crazy run for them, and it's something that I feel like they need as a fan base. They need to host a home playoff game. And if it could be after a bye, being able to snag that 1 seed, that would be insane.
Yeah.
But they need a home playoff game more than the Eagles do. I feel like the Eagles can go on the road and fucking beat anybody anywhere. Cowboys, they need to be at home. They have to. That's a team that really can't afford to end up going on the road.
Well, they have to face the Bills this week, and the Bills. Well, we'll talk about the AFC in a minute, but the Bills seem to be just lucking into a lot of wins at the right time. But the other 2 division leaders in the NFC are the Lions and the Buccaneers. The Lions 2 months ago, we were talking about how they could make a run for the 1 seed, they could do all these things, and now, fast forward to now, they are one of the shit teams that are going to get blown out by one of the 3 good teams.
Yeah.
What changed about the Lions? Why are they shit now? Did Jared Goff just come down to earth and it's as simple as that?
I think that whole offensive system did, honestly. You don't really have a lot of key guy. You have Amar
Amon Ra.
same yeah, whatever the fuck. Amon-Ra St. Brown, St. Princess, I don't fucking know. But that's it. Sam Laporte is a rookie. Like
Yeah.
their running backs, they just got rid of DeAndre Swift. Like that's everybody there's no reason for that offense to have done so good like they did. There's no reason they should have beat the Chiefs in the very first game of the season, but no tape was had. They went on for 6 weeks and were fucking bonkers. And now everybody's kind of gotten a grip on what that offense does. And they're not like guys like that can get separation all the time unless it's St. Brown. That's it. That's all they have. And it's starting to show with these defenses having tape and able to key in and do what they need to do to get the win. And I feel bad for him, but Jared Goff isn't like the best quarterback in the world that can play without great players. If these defenses are able to key in, he's not just. It's just not one of them things. They're going to get to the playoffs. It's just like we already alluded to. They're going to get smacked, but they're a different. It's a different franchise now. It's not the same
Yeah.
old Lions. It's a brand new Lions organization. So they have to feel happy. They have to be proud, and they're literally one key piece away. Like they're one nice Justin Jefferson type wide receiver on their offense away from being able to really take that next step in the offense because their defense is adequate. But also
Right.
sometimes their defense is either getting 8 sacks with 15 pressures or they're not touching the fucking quarterback.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've been a Detroit truther for a couple seasons now. I picked Amon-Ra St. Brown as my top fantasy pick this year. It's worked out. I'm in the playoffs, but I'm going to lose in the first round despite having the most points and whatever. That's a different story. But I've been the truther. I've wanted them to do well. I liked Jared Goff from the time he came into the league, even though he sucked in LA. I liked him. He got traded. He looked good. Now he just doesn't. He's thrown a pick like every game for the last like month, only to be outclassed by Josh Allen, who again we'll talk about in a few minutes. But I want to believe that Jared Goff can do something. And listen, their first matchup is going to be like against the Vikings or the Packers. It might be against the Rams. That would suck. But if it's like the
Good
Vikings, if
night. I
somehow
love
the
you.
Vikings sneak in, it'll be something that they can win. And then, is there reseeding in the NFL in the playoffs or no?
I don't believe so, no.
So then they would get stuck with the Cowboys. So yeah, they'd lose. That would suck. So let's lump everybody else together, and it's going to be hard to talk about because one of them is a division, so one of them has to go in. But the other teams are Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Green Bay, Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, New York Giants, and the Chicago Bears, all within a game of each other, all fighting for 3 spots, but again, one of them has to be the NFC South team. Of those teams, are there any that you believe those top teams, and we'll throw the Lions in there for just because we know they're pretty much guaranteed, any that they need to be even concerned about in any way, shape, or form?
I mean, there's no way in hell it's going to happen. But the Packers before this last game, I mean, if we're looking at them right now at 7-6, that whole division is looking way different right now. The Vikings are
Right.
fucked. Now they're on the way up, like because Jordan Love's a guy. We've known that. It's just getting into that Matt LaFleur offense, getting comfortable in it, and he's looked really fucking good. If they're 7-6, that's a team I'm worried about. I don't see them being able to win out and claim that division. But yeah, if they're 7-6, the Lions are definitely have them on their radar. They have their picture plastered on their billboard or whatever they have in their fucking boiler room, whatever setups they do there. But that's a team I'm worried about. And then other than that, the Bucs, they just have to fucking pray to God that they can win some games because that division is going to lose at least 5 more games combined
Yeah.
in the next 3 weeks. And they just got to hope they're the one team that's actually on the winning
It
end
stands at the
of
end.
things. Yeah, that's insane. And then like if there's any way the Rams are able to just
That's who I'm scared of if
keep
I'm
going,
Detroit.
keep
Yeah.
climbing, and be able to sneak in, then they will be a team that can bite some kneecaps and still a win.
Yeah. If I am San Francisco, Dallas, or Philly, I'm not scared of any of those teams. But if I'm Detroit, I would be personally scared of the Rams showing up because Goff sucks against pressure. The Rams create pressure. The Rams were bad when Kyron Williams was hurt. He is back now. He's the man. Yeah, he's a rookie too, but now he's gotten some quote unquote rest because he didn't have to play for like a month and a half. So he's still fresh. He's going. They have Puka. They have Cup, who's been pretty shitty, but he had a good game last game. And they even have a good tight end sometimes. So like they're doing good things, and their defense is not great. They're not going to beat Dallas. They're not going to beat 49ers, but Goff can't beat good pass rushes, and Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald, and he's either going to get to you or you're going to put 3 people on him and somebody else is going to get to you. So I'd be
That
scared
was
of the Rams.
insane.
But he got through the 3 people too.
Yeah,
And
that shit
like
was crazy.
he's nuts. But that's the only team I would be scared of. And again, I'd only be scared of them if I was the Lions. I'm leaving out the NFC South team because they're guaranteed to face the NFC East team. And yeah, they'll be home, but it won't matter. If it's us, Atlanta, or New Orleans, I would not put money on any of them.
That'd
Honestly,
be dope if Philly played the Bucs in Tampa to go be able to see that playoff game.
yeah, you
That'd be
could go do
sick.
that. But no, I'm
That'd be
not.
sick.
I have been an avid believer that we need to fight for a draft pick, and I will never turn down a playoff appearance. If we end up winning the division, and of course a division champion, get the banners hanging. But I will never turn that down. But I don't believe we should have tried so hard. The players are always going to try hard. The coach is always going to try hard. I get all that, but the organization probably shouldn't have tried so hard because it's just going to leave us in a mediocre road where we've been ever since before the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was a blip where we got Tom Brady, but even before the Super Bowl, we've never gotten like a good pick. Our best pick is like the 7th pick with Vita Vea. Like we just don't lose enough. We need to lose hard or win hard, and we're just gonna hover around that middle ground for even longer. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. There will be some good late round quarterbacks though available, so maybe we'll get one.
Oh, for sure. Shit, draft up and get whatever. What's his name? Drake May?
They're saying that Penix could be like a second rounder, late second rounder.
Oh,
So
word?
we'll have a couple of chances to get a pretty good quarterback if we want him. So
That's dope. How do you feel about Puka's his little finger tape on it instead of doing the gloves?
dude,
Now
that's
he's doing
dope. I love it, bro. I
the
saw
finger
that
tape.
catch. I did not even know that until they showed a replay of that awesome catch he had.
Oh, that diving?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And I was like, I fuck with that. I also fuck with him because he's my fantasy wide receiver in all 3 leagues, and he's trying to carry me. But no, that's cool. I love the old school finger tape.
It's dope. He's literally
Is that all
turning
the
into one of
time,
my
or is
favorite
that
players
just
in
for
the league.
Rain? Because obviously Rain makes the gloves slick. So is it just for Rain, or does he do that all the time?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
I know I was watching. Oh yeah, it was this past week. Was the diving catch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was on in the Blue Point room, and I just saw him get a catch, and I was like, "Oh, that goes hard."
Yeah. So maybe it was just for Rain, but it's pretty cool. I avoid the
It's cool as
Rams
shit.
just because I hate that they take over the Buccaneers games because I live on the West Coast. All right, so let's move on to just to mention briefly, the Washington Commanders and the Arizona Cardinals also have a chance. They have not been eliminated. Only one team has been eliminated in the NFC, and that is Carolina. So shout out to Arizona and Washington doing things, but
It's so
Arizona plays
crazy.
the 49ers this week, and so they'll be eliminated. But it's crazy that we've made it this far, and only 2 teams, one from each conference, has been eliminated. So let's move to the harder one. Let's move to the AFC. Let's try to figure this shit out. Right now, there is only one 10-win team, so they are in first, and that is Baltimore. But Baltimore, Miami, Kansas City, Jacksonville. Let's just look at those because they're the division leaders right now. None of them want to win games. What is happening? Nobody wants to play. Baltimore did win, and that's why they're at 10-3. But they're all just trying to give away games left and right. Why won't a team just rise to the top of the pack and say, "We got this. The AFC is ours this year"?
They did. The Ravens have won 3 straight while everybody else is fucking losing. The Dolphins, I think, have lost 2 out of 3. The Jaguars lost 2 out of 3. Chiefs have lost 2 in a row. Or actually, we've lost 3 out of 4, 2 in a row. Steelers win on like a 3-game win streak, lost back-to-back weeks. It's crazy, dude. It's weird. Honestly, it's anybody's right now. Like besides the AFC North, because I don't think the Ravens could lose enough, and the Browns could actually find in their grip with Joe Flacco
maybe
right now.
Flacco's been doing some things. Do they have to
But
play the Ravens though?
I have no idea, honestly. Probably because there's all these late season fucking divisional matchups.
I'm gonna try to find it real quick. Browns. Because if they play them and they win, then they would be.
No,
right.
It doesn't look like it. It's us, Niners, and Ravens, December 31st. So is there again? Yeah, they play the Steelers, so they don't play each other again.
Okay. Yeah, so the Browns play the Bears, Texans,
So the Browns,
Jets, and Bengals. They could win all 4 of those games, dude.
Yeah, they really could.
That's nuts.
They really could, and hopefully the Ravens won't win all 4 of theirs because that would mean we lose another fucking game in a row.
You're gonna lose to the Buccaneers. I'm fucking telling you, dog. In a couple weeks.
Bro, fuck you. Why?
I said it 2 weeks ago. I'm sticking by my guns. You screwed the pooch this weekend, but I've told you you're gonna lose at least one more time, and that's to the Bucs.
I don't know what happened to our defense, dude. I honestly don't get it. We were one of the best. We were like third in rushing defense 3 weeks ago, and the last 2 weeks we've just gotten fucking gashed. Absolutely gashed. It sucks.
But nobody's really,
Fucking Browning and Joe
aside from you
Flacco looking
guys,
like
right?
fucking
Nobody's
all
really
pros.
chasing. I guess the Broncos are now only one game behind the Chiefs, right? Because the Dolphins are still pretty set because they didn't beat the Bills, and they have to play the Bills again. Fuck, nobody's
Yeah,
set except the Ravens. You were
nobody.
right. That is.
Yeah, every division can be captured still by multiple. Like the Colts could still end up getting it. The Texans could get the
The Colts
South.
are ahead of the Texans right by tiebreak, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like the Broncos could come up and end up beating the Chiefs out. The Bills somehow could end up getting up over the Dolphins still. Like it's insane. It's crazy. It sucks. It honestly sucks. The Ravens are the only ones that are hopeful, but at the same time, they have two fucking people in their division at 8-5, biting
What
their
if there's
heels.
an 11 and
Oh wait, the
6
Steelers are 7-6.
first seed? Like what? No, it won't
It
be
could
that.
happen.
It could, but it won't be. There could be a 10 and 7 still in
And
both
there has
cases.
been a lot of shitty weather too. These last
That's
couple
true.
weeks of
That's
football,
true. These last weeks have been tough.
there's been a lot of shitty weather.
So let's ask you the same question, just to avoid you having to talk shit about your team. The teams that are currently hovering around those wild card spots: the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans, Denver Broncos, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills. Jesus, they're all 7-6. And then we'll leave out the Chargers and the Raiders and the people under there because they lost their quarterback and whatnot. So out of all those guys, who should, again, though that is 5 through 11 fighting for 3 spots. Of those teams, who should those top guys, all the division leaders, the Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Jags, who should they be most worried about?
For each division, I will give you one.
Ooh, okay.
Broncos, Bills, Browns, and the Texans.
Hey, I said the Texans, but then now they lost Tank Dell.
CJ's
That is fucking huge.
Tank Dell's gone. See, but no, they have dogs, bro. They got dogs. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to
Nico
fucking hear
Collins
that.
is a dude. No,
Yeah, even the national media was like they'll be fine, and they fucking will. What they need to worry about is CJ Stroud having Tweety Bird still hanging around his fucking head in a couple days. That's what they need to be concerned with. But that defense is good. Colts defense, not so much. Opportunistic, beat teams 26-25. Like
right.
Texans, good defense all around. So I'm worried about them. Broncos starting to get into their groove. That's a defense too. Good in the trenches, opportunistic in the secondary, but also their offense is getting to that point to where the defense can allow 30 points, and we're still probably going to be on the good end of things. And then, like we already said, with the Browns, Joe Flacco is looking really good. That running game starting to come to. So anything can happen there. That was a team in the beginning of the season that was looked at as like AFC favorites with what that defense is able to do and the hopes of that offense. Amari Cooper starting to look like Amari Cooper again for the first time since I went and saw him in Tampa whenever y'all were hanging a Super Bowl banner.
Yeah.
He's finally getting back into his thing. And then what was the other team? The Bills. They're finally learning how to just go and win teams and have teams argue against them instead of arguing with each other.
I don't even want to talk about that fucking
Pat Mahomes was a big bitch for
offsides
that, though.
bullshit. But it made me lose a lot of respect for Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, he was a big
I never
bitch for
cared
that.
much for Andy Reid anyway. I like him. He's a Super Bowl winner. He did great things for his entire time in the league as a coach, but I never cared for him. But I liked Patrick Mahomes, and that was just a bitch thing to do, to say, to not even to argue that it wasn't a foul. He was just like, you can't call that foul. We're allowed to break the rules. Like, it was just such a dumb thing. But
the way he acted afterwards, like Josh Allen's just trying to go up to him and talk to him, and he's still riled up and pissed off. Like, all right, well then take 5 seconds to appreciate another quarterback in the league.
He's mad at
he
Josh
can't even
Allen
do
like
that.
he did anything.
Yeah,
And Josh Allen was fucking big dog on campus in his post game because he was like, I don't know. He's like, I've never seen it called either. I was getting ready to come out onto the field, but like he was just such a nice person about it, just so calm, and obviously he was on the winning side, but it's pretty crazy. But no, I think I agree with you on all the teams, I guess. But the team I'm most watchful of is the Broncos, dude. I think they are gonna benefit from everybody else cannibalizing each other. Obviously, the Colts and the Texans ahead of them have to play each other and you and all these other teams, these tough teams. The AFC North has to all face each other still, so those Browns, Steelers, they'll start to jumble around. The Broncos got two West teams out of the way with the Chargers and the the Raiders. They get to play them again, so that's pretty cakewalk. They get to play the Lions, who we've said is not that amazing, and then they get to play the Patriots. So I think they'll just do their thing while these other teams beat up on each other. They'll slide up into that 7 or 6 spot, and not like the NFC. The 5, 6, and 7 could all win that game. Not all, but all of them have the capabilities of winning that game because, like you said, none of the top 4 teams look all that amazing. And I don't know about you guys. Obviously, Kansas City is probably the best home field, whatever. Maybe Miami needs it a lot just because they're in warm weather. But how do you feel about your home field? Obviously, you want it, but are your splits?
I mean, we're better away this season. I think we're 6-1 away so far this season, and we only have 2 or 3 wins at home. But dude, Duval County playoff atmosphere is different, and a lot of football players in the NFL, every Chargers player that was there last year, and every Jaguar player, honestly, that's new to the league and new to the Jaguars, was able to see what the league got to see in 2017 was if this team gets a fucking home playoff game, it can go bonkers, and it does. So, do we need it? No, because our record at home sucks. But it'll be awesome for Duval County to have a home playoff game because that's one of the best atmospheres around. Honestly, I'm not just saying that as a homer. That arena gets filled to the brim of 70. I think it's 68, 70,000, which is a lot for NFL. And the way it's built, it's stacked up, and there's not a lot of loose ends with those billboards up there now. So everything just kind of stays in, and it gets fucking loud. I think when we were there for the Titans game to clinch the playoff spot last year, it got up to 138 decibels on the field. Like, it gets loud as fuck in that stadium.
I got distracted. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, the reason obviously Kansas City's the same way. The reason I said Miami is again just warm weather. The atmosphere down in Miami is not that amazing, but on the field to not have to go to Cleveland, to not have to go to Kansas City, to not have to go to these cold places, Baltimore, would benefit them huge because the Super Bowl is played in a dome. So they could just do the Brady thing, or not the Brady thing, and just stay in warm weather the whole time, but be at home where they need to be. So it would benefit them also. I was just wondering. I didn't know about your home and away splits, so that's pretty cool. No, so I was distracted, but I want to talk about this now because I have not read the story. I've only seen the headline, but Giannis had a 64-point night tonight, doing work, took care of the Pacers, and apparently the Pacers stole the game ball, so that he can't have it. Which
are you serious?
Is fucking crazy. And the game was in Milwaukee too. It wasn't even in Indiana. But yeah, so he's like was getting in a fight. This picture is he's yoked. But he's like getting in a fight. He broke the franchise scoring record with 64 points, and the Pacers apparently have taken the game ball. So that's a story. That would be I'd start to lose respect for the Pacers now. Like, come on, what is going on? I like the Pacers.
How would they do that?
They can get it to him or something. I don't know. Is
Giannis
there a video?
Is running in the tunnel
To fight
there's a staffer trying to hold him back. Now a whole bunch of people are running back in the tunnel. Chris Middleton and Damian Lillard are sitting there talking to Tyrese Halliburton on the court.
I'm going to listen to
Tyrese is like doing all this. Like
Rick Carlisle's explaining it. Let's see what he says. A misunderstanding about the game. Oh, no. You better give it back, man.
That's wild. There's a Pacers staffer talking to Dame with Tyrese out there with him.
It makes more sense now, but I want to see if they give it back.
Are you able to break it down while you look?
Well,
He
no,
came out of the tunnel with no ball in hand.
I'm listening to this. Tell me if you got the fucking ball. So it sounds like they did give it back.
He's telling the staffer and Halliburton, he's like, I want it in my hand.
So what happened was, Rick Carlisle told me what happened, so that's cool. I'm gonna have to look up this guy's name because I don't fucking know his name. Some backup nobody on the Pacers named Tshiebwe, 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 scored his first ever NBA points today. So Indiana wanted the game ball for him because it was his very first ever point. And he said they did not know that 64 points was the franchise record. He said they weren't thinking anything about that. They were just happy that their guy got his point, and they got the ball for him. And then all hell broke loose. He said people were getting elbowed. He said, I don't think a punch was thrown, but a few people got elbowed. I'm like, geez, that's worse than a punch. But it did sound like they gave him the ball back because he said there are 2 game balls and we'll gladly take the other one. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's the original one and then the backup.
Right. So I guess they probably took the original, obviously. And Rick sounded very nice about it. And he was like, well, we just want a ball for Tshiebwe to have his first point. But your first point over Giannis getting his franchise record at home, get the fuck out of here. Bring back the ball.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm only going to have 300 career points, okay?
Right.
I need that ball. My name is Tshiebwe.
I'm not even going to score 64 in my career. I need it. That's nuts, though. Giannis must have went off. I should have watched that game instead of the fucking Suns.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I can see where he's coming from. Giannis snapped.
Oh,
That video was crazy. That video was crazy. But yeah, to wrap up football, Texans have the easiest route. So they're in the same predicament as the Broncos. Just let everybody beat up on each other, and they could find their way winning the divisions.
Twice, right?
Titans twice, Colts once, and the Browns once. So they could win 3 out of 4 and be right up there and end up with the division if they wanted to. The Titans are a pretty easy team to win against right now, unless you are the Miami Dolphins. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. If I had to put it a guess at right now, it'd probably be Ravens at 1, Chiefs at 2, Dolphins at 3, and Jaguars at 4. If they were able to hold it out. If not, then it'll probably be Ravens at 1, Broncos at 2, some fucking stupid shit, Colts at 3, and fucking Bills at 4.
I think the Chiefs will snap
back.
Did I
already say Dolphins?
The Chiefs will get second. I think the Ravens will be number 1, I think, at the end of the day. But I think the Chiefs will bounce back and get second. I think, sadly, you guys have the tougher road. So you guys might lose the division to the Texans. But you will be in the playoffs, I believe. So maybe you'll get to go to Houston. That'd be fucking cool, right?
That'd be hilarious. So out of the 8 division conference leaders, right?
Yeah.
Who's not going to be the division leader going into the playoffs?
It would just be one of the 2 of us, honestly, in my opinion.
I think the same thing.
I still don't think, and this might be the homer in me, but I do not think the anti-homer that Tampa Bay is the best team in that division. I think we have the most weapons. I think we have a lot of good shit, but if Arthur Smith could get the fuck out of his own way, the Falcons should be the best team in this division.
For sure.
They should have won 3 more games than they have, but
I don't have y'all sitting there trying to beat y'all's quarterback up. I mean, neither do the Falcons, but like you said, they got a mustache maniac over there.
When there's times that Bijan Robinson gets like 3 touches in a game, that's just wrong. Just wrong, dude. Kyle Pitts had a nice fucking touchdown this last week, though. But yeah, it's gonna be hard for them because we just beat them. But we'll see. We have to play the Packers this weekend. Who do you guys play this weekend?
Ravens.
Oh yeah, this is the big one.
Sunday Night Football, baby.
We get the Packers.
As long as we didn't get flexed out, I think we're still.
I don't think so. But it'll be fun. It'll be a good weekend. I mean, I guess I'm gonna be the guy that cheers for his team, but hopefully we can hold on to it because we have a pretty easy schedule down the stretch too. So hopefully we can hold on to it and get it done.
What if the Panthers beat the Falcons? Will you be happy as absolute hell?
Hell yeah! I don't have any. I mean, I want to win the division. If we're here, let's fucking win. Because if we lose, I guess honestly though, if we lose now, we could still have like the 5th pick in the NFL draft. But no, I mean, why not? Why not try to win now? We can beat the Packers. We can beat the Saints. We can beat the Falcons. We can beat the Panthers or whoever the hell we still have. So I want to win. Let's win. Let's win. Let's lose Mike Evans so that we can sign Baker Mayfield to a fucking 8-year contract and let's just run it all back, do it all over again without the best receiver in the way. By the way, we didn't shout out Mike Evans officially. He hit another 1,000-yard receiving. We said he was going to, but he hit
every
it again.
year. He also led.
So now he's tied with Jerry Rice, or he's one behind Jerry Rice. One of those two.
I think one behind.
But he's right there.
Jerry Rice did at 9, and he's at 8.
On one of the best to ever do it. So we did see.
Or is he at 8? 2. I think Jerry did at 9.
I know that he was either 1 or tied. How many years has he been in the league? He's done it every fucking year. So.
8, yeah. I think it's 8. Jerry did it 9. But if he literally does it 10 and retires, can he end up just all of a sudden being the all-time best? Right? Like, I mean, these last couple of years, he's became a touchdown machine.
I don't know that that's how it works, but he is definitely the best not talked about player. Like, and he's done it with a bunch of quarterbacks, a lot of just shitty dudes. Jerry did not have a shitty quarterback, so I'm excited. We saw his classmate, right, draft classmate, who was supposed to be the guy, Odell Beckham, get a touchdown this past week, but Beckham was the stud of that draft. He shot like a firework and then fell like a firework too. So Mike Evans has just been consistency. So shout out to him. I just wanted to add that aside in there. But no, it'll be fun down the stretch here with the holidays. Really getting excited about football, and hopefully we'll both be in the playoffs, ready to fight. We won't be both in the Super Bowl like we predicted before the season.
Unfortunately, not. No.
What else do we have to talk about and shout out? We're right around the end of our jam
not
here.
Not much, man.
We did some shout outs.
EJ's the shit. I'm glad we started off with that. Shout out Desmond Howard. He last year. I don't know if anybody has talked about it, but I remember very vividly his prediction last year for the playoffs was horrible, and this year the only one he missed was Florida State. So shout out Desmond Howard getting his credentials back, I guess, at College Analysis. Because,
can we?
Yeah,
shout
3
out,
of the 4 right.
It's the off season. I forgot, which is so weird. But shout out to Shohei Ohtani for actually going to a fucking winning team for a change. We'll get to watch him in the playoffs. We'll get to watch him lose in the NLDS because he can't carry the entire team on his back, no matter how many roles he plays.
No, free Mike, bro.
But
poor Mike.
But we will probably sign Yamamoto as well. We will probably.
No, we won't need to get Yamamoto.
Yeah, I mean, you guys still have a Japanese player, right?
Yeah, but we have a good chance of getting Yamamoto too.
That's
we wanted that little Korean dude.
He said he wants to play with a Japanese person, so I wanted to make sure you still had a Japanese guy on your team.
Yeah, he's our reliever or whatever.
But no, we'll get Yamamoto. We'll trade for Glasnow. We were trying to trade for a Rosarina, but it sounds like that might be off the table. So we'll get Glasnow and somebody else. Soto can go suck a bag of dicks in New York. I do not care. I never thought he was that good anyway. He had like a flash in the pan kind of season, and now he's back. We were talking about trying to get Corbin Burns from the Brewers or wherever he's at now. And I remember him with the Brewers. That would be amazing if we could get him, but they might not give him up. So we'll see. It's exciting to be a Dodgers fan. All the rest of my teams do not sign free agents. They don't. I mean, the Suns. Well, they traded. They didn't sign a free agent. But none of my teams signed free agents except the Dodgers. So the Dodgers off seasons are my favorite off season of all times every year because we do crazy shit. Whereas your team tried to spend money for a little bit, and now I guess they're back off that train. And Eddie's team has never spent a dime in his history. So
we reportedly offered $650 to Shohei, which makes sense because that's on par with what he would have probably made. Like that's what he's going to be losing in state taxes, that 50,000 throughout the 10 years. So that was on par with what the Dodgers were giving. So like we didn't offer any more pocket money, which kind of pisses me off. If we would have threw out 700, he would have got that extra $50,000.
Right.
But how they're doing this Wolf of Wall Street bullshit, I don't get how it's legal and if it even is.
It is legal. I've seen,
but
I don't know how.
It's crazy. Like, listen, hey, for the next 8 years, we're going to make you $150-200 million in the off season just in being a pretty little Japanese boy to go take pictures. And then when you're old and ruined and ugly and you're not getting that money anymore, we're going to throw fucking $400 million at you that are after taxes to put in your bank account. Like, how is that allowed? So, like, what does that do for me? Oh, wait, no, that sounded like Mario.
Yeah, that was
dong, ding, dong, dong. He wants to know what it does for him.
He did it.
Like, well, it helps you be able to win World Series because that gives us $350 million to spend over the next 8 years.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
It's not, apparently.
That's collusion.
It is collusion, that's for sure. But apparently it's not illegal. Why didn't we do that with Mookie? Like, why aren't there other
fucking Manfred's over here? Like, I don't care. It's a fucking piece of metal.
He probably doesn't. Well,
it's just it's paper. I don't care. It's just paper.
He probably doesn't even know that it happened.
Fucking senile. I can't stand him.
But yeah, so it's always exciting.
And he looks every year. He looks more and more like just a fucking scumbag. Like, the older he gets, the more shitty of a person he looks.
He is a scumbag.
I don't see how he got an extension. I mean,
and then
fucking let shit like this happen.
We can't break our no scrubs allowed mantra, so we do not get to talk about in-season tournament championship banners. But it's a hilarious story, and I will go try to take some pictures of it because it's laughable. But I think that's it. I think that's all we got. So shout out to Giannis for breaking the franchise record tonight. That is super fucking awesome. I hope you get that ball. I do like Giannis. I will always like Giannis. I don't care what he does. So be like Giannis and be a stud, not a scrub.